Welcome to Best Tips for Beginners for No Man's Sky. If you're new to the game, or even if you're not, you might want to watch this for potentially a few tips that you may not know, or just to get a general feel of the game. Now, this is a brand new save, and what we are doing here is harvesting dihydrogen. Now, the planet that we've started on is at -50, which means our environmental shielding during the boot up beginning game process has already fallen by about 80%, which means we need to find shelter. So there's a cave up here, and as we go we will use our mining laser to get some ferrite dust from these small rocks, because we're going to need it to repair our scanner. And in fact, along with the dihydrogen and everything else, you basically need to harvest loads of resources at the beginning of the game. Now, we're going to run into this cave. It was a very lucky spawn. My environmental shielding will now recharge. So if you look at that bottom left hand corner, you can see that it is recharging. Now, I have compacted about 4 hours of gameplay into less than 40 minutes. So I will basically be showing you everything you need to do at the beginning of the game to give you a good head start of playing No Man's Sky for your voyage amongst the stars. Now, up here, see these? Again, you may not have them, but these humming sacks contain albumin pearls. Now, albumin pearls are a good resource to sell in space stations. I almost said PlayStations then. So collect those if you have them, of course. But again, if you haven't, you haven't. That's fine. Again, the important stuff at the beginning is this. We want to be harvesting lots and lots of small little rocks to get a nice, big initial collection of ferrite dust, so that we can repair stuff. So we've got enough now, we can repair our scanner. There we go. Now, what the scanner is going to allow us to do, so use whatever control button it is for you on whatever system you're playing, scans the local area, and we're looking for that Na. Now, the reason we're looking for the Na and the sodium is it recharges our environmental shielding, and on top of that, it also recharges our spaceship shields. Now, there's some more dihydrogen here, so we're going to collect all this as well. And one other thing you want to collect quite a lot of is carbon. Now, the reason you want to collect carbon is it recharges your mining laser. And as you can see, our mining laser is already down to 26%. And again, at the left-hand side there, you saw the plant that was spewing gases. You're going to want to kill those as well, or what look like Venus flytraps. The reason for that is they contain a lot of oxygen, which you need for your life support systems. So again, we're going to cut down a few trees with our mining laser so that we can recharge our mining beam. So there we go, we've got 127 carbon, and now this unidentified plant, look at that, oxygen. Now we need that for our life support systems. I can see gas here coming over the tip of the hill, which means there's another one. So let's get that blasted away as well. So we've got quite a bit of oxygen that we can use to recharge our life support systems. Okay, now again, I'm going to this is a sodium rich plant, so this is the Na plant, and you want to collect as many of these as you can for sodium. You can never have enough. So there we go, you recharge, and that recharges your life support, and the oxygen recharges the oxygen recharges your life support, and the sodium recharges your environmental shielding or your spaceship shielding as well. Now we've got our starship has been identified and located, so we need to head to it. So again, I will keep skipping all of the footage so that you only see the bits that are important. So again, skipping forwards, I'm killing another plant just to collect more oxygen. You can never have enough. You can have an absolutely massive stack. Now, these crystals here are condensed carbon, so you want to collect those as well. Now, I've been playing No Man's Sky since it released, and this is on the Interceptor update, which is fantastic, but I am doing this from a beginner's perspective. So that would recharge your health, that blue box, if you needed it. So this is the ship, we've walked all the way to it, and the next thing you want is these plants. They give you oxygen. Okay, so as well as killing the dangerous plants, you can collect these red plants for oxygen. Now, I don't know, the game seemed to be glitching out on this particular patch. Not entirely sure why, but it was. And again, I will leave you to get all the information, but we now need a hermetic seal to repair our spaceship. Now, we already have some dihydrogen jelly because we managed to get some from some of the supply boxes that were near the ship. Again, I'm not going to tell you absolutely everything because some of it should be reasonably obvious. Again, what we need is some metal plating, so you can craft this from ferrite dust, and you're also going to want to build yourself some carbon nanotubes, which is from carbon. You will see why later. Okay, now we also have our pulse engine, so that's why I built the metal plate, and our launch thrusters need to be repaired as well. So again, we need a hermetic seal, so you have to request assistance, and what it's going to do is you're going to have to go to that crashed like buoy thing and get a chart from it, which will then let you find where you need to go. So again, we'll skip forwards again. So you go into here, this gives you the chart. So thanks for the planetary chart, and that, when you use it, is going to give you a location. So you use it, and that gives you the location of where you need to go to get your hermetic seal. Now again, as I said, I'm cutting this to pieces, so it is just the bits that you need to see. So there we go, that's where we need to go. On our way, collecting more oxygen, I got a storm. Now look at my environmental shielding. It is going down fairly fast. Now if you haven't collected enough sodium, you could potentially die during a storm, so you do need to be collecting all of that lovely Na to be able to recharge your shielding. Now luckily there's a couple here next to each other, so I can harvest both. And ideally what you're looking for is what I refer to as a golden field. Now a golden field is when you have about 20 or more of those plants all right next to each other, which allows you to get a large amount of sodium. But as you can see, I've already got over 100, and here is a golden field. So during the storm I managed to locate a golden field. Again, hold down the collect button and it will just collect everything. And you might need to move around a little bit while you're holding down the collect button, but it should do it automatically without you needing to physically point at the plants. So again, walk around until all the light disappears. Even if you're in a storm, you can still see what you're collecting. So I now have 250 sodium, which is loads. So again, we've moved to the location, and we've got the stuff that we needed, the hermetic seal, and more importantly you can now build the analysis visor, which is what we built the carbon nanotubes for. So we've collected our hermetic seal, and we've also installed the analysis visor. The next thing you want to do is every piece of damaged machinery that you see, go and you collect from it. Now the reason I say this is you're going to get nanites, and you want to build up a good collection of nanites very early in the game so that you can get a enhancement for your scanner, this. So see, I scan this animal and it gives us 1,600 credits. Now that's nice, but we can up that to about 50-60,000 credits per animal that you scan. And that is another piece of advice as well. Take the game slow and scan everything, because the bonuses that you get, especially with animals, if you're able to find every animal on a planet, I will show you later in this video, you will get a huge nanite boost. And your deuterium rich plants, the blue plants, now they give you a jetpack surge, which will allow you to move briefly quicker than you would normally. As you can see, power surge fading, and that's it. Now we're back to the ship again with our hermetic seal, so let's get it installed. We've already put the metal plate in, so now our pulse engine is working. The only thing that isn't yet is our launch thrusters, and our launch thrusters need pure ferrite. Now for that you're going to need to build a piece of technology. The game will assist you in this, but I can tell you now you're going to need to build some more of those metal plates, have them handy, so that you can build your resource portable refiner. So metal plating and oxygen, I've collected loads, so I'm fine. And then you go in, you put in your fuel, which is carbon, and if you've harvested loads you'll be alright. And then you want to put in your ferrite dust, and that will be converted to pure ferrite, which is what you need. Go back when it's finished, collect it, put it into your exosuit, and again come out of the refiner, go into your ship, get it repaired. And also one other piece of advice, don't forget your refiner. So we're going to jump back out the ship once it's repaired. So launch thrusters are now repaired. Jump back out your ship, and what you want to do is collect it and have it in your exosuit. So pick it up with whatever button you need, so it is in your exosuit, which means you can refine whenever you want. Now, next is discoveries. So when you are on a planet and you uncover stuff, you can then get rewards. So you want to upload to receive additional nanites. And as you can see, if you complete every animal, you get 1,750 nanites. And I currently only have 80. But the 2 remaining animals are rare and they're underground. So finding them may well be challenging, and I have sometimes spent a long amount of time on a planet trying to get every creature. Some planets are easier than others, and what I'm showing now is Starship launch fuel. So for that you need a metal plate. I can't build any more because I don't have enough ferrite dust, but what you can do, as long as you've got enough dihydrogen, is create launch fuel. Now you want to have at least 1 in your inventory at all times, so that if you run out, you're able to collect more. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that was a launch pod, a drop pod that I missed, but again, I'll show you later. You can see there's another golden field over behind this building, and also nearby there were these. Now, this is navigation data, which allows you to purchase star charts in space stations. So any opportunity you get to collect them, do, and that buried technology we cannot get yet. And it is another resource that you do need to collect. But again, later in this video I will show you, have no fear. Again, you can upload stuff individually, and later on what I would, so we've got 4 flora and 6 minerals discovered. So go back, go to the galaxy level, and then use the upload all, and you'll get all of your nanites in one go. And when I went galaxy level, I meant system level, not galaxy. Now, something else you can do, you will collect rusted metal, process it, because what you will get is ferrite dust, a lot of ferrite dust. So those damaged containers that you open and you get rusted metal, you can whack that into your refiner to get ferrite. And it's easier than harvesting it from rocks. So just another little tip there. And again, as you can see, the stuff that I haven't shown, but look, one of those damaged machineries gave me a big modification to my pulse engine. Now my pulse engine has given me additional maneuverability and additional efficiency. Now you can move technology as well, and as you can see, the engine components, when they're next to each other, they get an additional boost, and that's what that coloured edge around the outside of the block means. So your next step is to go to space, and when you're in space, harvest. Now I'm going to shoot this one for now, and I'll show you what I mean. So this is silver. So we are collecting silver just by using our laser cannons, shooting away, and we collect the mineral. Now, something else that is worth doing that I will show you is to pulse burst just into a random bit of the system until we get an asteroid field, because you can then go nuts and you can spend as long as you want collecting resources. Use your scanner in space and it will highlight tritium-rich rocks that you need for your pulse engine. So off we trot, and you can boost if you're too far away. I think we're close enough to this one to get it. A couple more rounds should get it blown up. Come on, bit closer then. There we go. And we collected some tritium, so 35, which will recharge our pulse engine for when we're flying around space. Right, okay, there's another one down and there's another one up, so what we'll do is we'll boost. So again, accelerate and then use the boost key for whatever it is for your version that you're playing, and you can get closer and collect some more tritium. Now you always really want to have quite a bit, so fire up your pulse engine, warp, and then just drop out, and if you're lucky you'll get this. Now this is an asteroid field, so travel into it and just start blasting rocks. So there's gold, and you are likely to get a lot of random items as you blast the rocks. So you'll get tritium hyperclusters, in fact we just got one there, as well as gold, platinum, silver, and also gold nuggets. Now gold nuggets can have a random amount of gold in them when you process them, but again, spend some time in there, blast a load of rocks, and then move on to the next target that you've got, which is a signal source that you need to investigate. And again, we'll just warp here, drop down, and it gives you an approximate location. Now, an approximate location, you're going to need to follow where it is. Now, we're going to scan some more animals. Again, for a few extra credits. It's not a huge amount. I mean, we're only getting 200 credits for each of these animals, which is nothing, basically. But again, if you're able to complete the entire collection, you will get a lot of nanites, so it is worth doing. Okay, again, scan, there we go, and we are looking to go and find the object that we're looking for. So it's about 250 U away, which isn't too far, and we'll keep running towards where it is. Oh, nice, another deuterium rich plant, so it'll give us a little boost of our jetpack, and we can fly fast, although there's some dihydrogen there. And again, we're still 230 U away, and we've found it. Okay, so it's a piece of damaged machinery. And we've now discovered the terrain manipulator. Now, the terrain manipulator allows us to do a lot of things. Always use the save spots as well. So save and chart, because you of course get extra nanites for that as well. Now, the round red cylinders you will not be able to open to begin with because you need an Atlas pass. So get your terrain manipulator installed. I already had dihydrogen jelly. I just need to construct some more carbon nanotubes. So again, construct your nanotubes, go back to your multi-tool and install. Oh, it was 2 that we needed. I only made 1. That's fine. We've got loads of carbon. Make another one. And there we go. So back to the multi-tool, install the carbon nanotubes, and you have got your terrain manipulator. Oh, a couple of spaceships flying past. Again, the game is a lot more alive than it was on launch day, and I am enjoying the Interceptor release, and it is an amazing game, and you can sink a lot of time into No Man's Sky. You can get lost playing this. Now, nearby there was a buried mineral formation. If you see buried mineral formations on your scanner, go and uncover them like this. So you go up to where it is. Oh, the plants are in the way there. Now the rocks are in the way. There we go. Uncover it and then blast it with your mining laser. So switch over to your mining laser, blast it, and you will get a glowing mineral. Now go into your exosuit, process the glowing mineral, so analyze, and we got 150,000 credit worth geodesite, as well as some ionized cobalt. So we got some good stuff from that. That was actually very lucky, because that means I'm pretty much set up for the next few stages of what we need to do. Again, you can scan for other stuff, and we're looking for a copper deposit. So there's copper, 172 U away. Use whatever key to mark it on your map so you know where it is. And again, look, we've got all these animals that I've found. Haven't found the rare underground ones again. The underground ones are the ones that are a pain to find. And they can be 2,750 nanites if I was able to do that. But again, go back to the system level and just upload all, and we got another 82 nanites. Very good. We're at the copper. So terrain manipulator. Oh, no free slots. That's something else you want to be careful of. So I've got no free slots in my inventory, which means I'm going to have to get rid of something. So you can discard items, and now I've got space, I can collect the copper, which I've done. Now again, earlier I mentioned the buried technology. So again, if you see buried technology, do uncover it and collect, because what you will collect is salvage data. Now, salvage data, you are going to need to unlock base buildings. Now, at this point in the game, the space station hasn't even been declared, but I'm going to go and warp there. You can't even scan it because the story part of the game hasn't unlocked your ability to know what it is. But this is a bit of a trick. Go to the space station. So you want to look for the building. If you can see it, walk between planets if you can't. Eventually you will see that it's got all these lines going to it, and you should be able to find it. And what you want to do is then go into the space station. Now this is before we've put down the base computer. So we've unlocked the base computer, but we have not put it down. Now the reason for that is what you want to do is get basically an extra upgrade to your exosuit at the beginning of the game. So by going to the space station before it's told you to, you will be able to get an extra slot for free. Well, not for free, you do have to pay for it, the second one, because the first one's free. And then from then on you always have to pay for them unless you could find a drop pod on a planet's surface, but we'll talk about that a bit later towards the end of this episode. So go to the space station before you've been told to, and one of the other things you want to do is then talk to all of the people that are in the space station to learn new words. So I'll show you that as well. So jetpack up, and this is the side you want to go to first. So over here at the end you want to go up to this exosuit upgrade, and here we go, it's free. Purchase inventory slot, lovely. Now you can only do it once per system, so that's it, it's locked out, you can't buy any more, but because we've done it before being told to, it will reset. Now the next thing is the technology merchant on the end, and you want to purchase upgrade modules. Now the upgrade module that you want, and this is why we're collecting nanites, I've only got 326, is the scanner module. So you want either an A or an S. Now that A one is the one that we will buy, but we don't quite have enough nanites yet, so we will come back and purchase it. And the reason being is that scanning animals will get a 7,500% bonus. So that 500 credits, time it by 7,500%. Now these at the beginning are ridiculously expensive, the multi-tools. So as you can see, cost 5.2 million, and you've got nowhere near enough credits to buy it. So it basically locks you out of a lot of stuff at the beginning of the game, which it should, because as I've said, you really want to take your time and pace yourself. You don't want to rush through the game. I mean, the whole point of No Man's Sky is to explore space at the end of the day, and you should really be smelling the roses, so to speak. So here's a person, we've talked to him, and then you request dialect help. And then choose whichever type of word you want. So Korvac symbol, friendship, whatever, and now we've learned a new word. Now something else you might want to do is sell some of the stuff that you've collected. For that you want the Galactic Trade Terminal, switch to sell, and you can also switch between your starship and your exosuit. And as you can see, we've got that GeoD site that I will sell later on because we'll need it to buy something else. But at the moment you can sell anything else that you've collected that is worth credits that you don't think you're going to want to keep. So these albumin pearls that I found, I'm going to get rid of them, even though they're demand minus 1.2%, that's fine. So they've been sold, and I got 30-odd thousand credits for them. Again, living slime, at the moment we don't need it, so we can sell it. And again, just decide what you want to sell. Everything that you've collected you can recollect, so it's fine. And now you want to build a base. So what you want to try and do is find something like a barren moon, something that is hospitable rather than inhospitable. So a barren moon, it might be barren, but the environment is not going to be damaging. So you'll be able to walk around without having to worry about continuously recharging your environmental suit. And to be fair, the first base that you deploy, you're not going to use anyway, because ideally you want to find a lovely planet with oceans, nice vegetation, everything else. And oh, what have we found? This was blind luck, by the way, but that is a drop pod. That is a free upgrade to your exosuit. But you need to find stuff first and make stuff to be able to get the free upgrade to your exosuit. So again, we will do that a bit later in this video. Okay, so we've landed, we trot, and you might want to go around, harvest some resources and everything else, and then what you're going to want to do is actually deploy your base computer. So I'm going to be deploying it right next to this drop pod. So let's get it deployed. Now again, you need chromatic metal to build it, which we have created by harvesting and converting copper. So here we go, this is your base computer, claim the base. Okay, job done. And then what you're going to want to do is actually build a very simple, because trust me, you're not going to keep this as a base. You want to build a very simple base, nothing fancy, and I'll show you what I mean. So we go in, we're going to access the log from the inverted brackets previous user, which is basically you in another existence, and extract plans. There we go, we've got loads of stuff that we can use, and we are now being told about base building. So again, you might want to go and get some carbon, you might want to go and get some ferrite and other stuff before you start building, because it does cost a lot. So there we go, get it built, and then what you want to do is you want to put basically 3 walls, one with a door as your 4th wall, and then a roof. So a very simple base. And oh look, weather warning, incoming storm. I swear every time you do this a storm comes in, regardless of what type of planet you're on. Okay, so you want a flat timber roof. If you can't put it on when you're inside, just go back outside the door, turn around, line it up, and there we go. You now have a safe shelter from any storms. You're also now going to want to build additional technology in your base before you leave. So go back to your base computer, you're going to get some additional blueprints. So yeah, go and get some salvage data. I already have, and I've shown you those underground buried technology. That's where you get your salvage data from, and this is why you were collecting it. Now we've already got magnetized ferrite and carbon nanotubes. I've already made the carbon nanotubes so that we can unlock some blueprints. So in we go. Go to your deployable technology and go to your construction research unit, put it in, and go into the unit. Oh look, another incoming storm. So what you want to do is go to research buildable technology, and there are basically a couple of things that you want to unlock at the beginning. So you want the base teleport module. So if you go, you can look through everything else. You don't need any of this yet. I've got 4 salvage data, so I've uncovered 4 underground locations, and we've unlocked that. You also want to unlock the biofuel reactor, and after that you also want to unlock the electrical wiring. For now, that is all you need, but going forwards you will also want the solar panel and the battery. But for now, you're okay, this is all you need. And they've significantly changed the biofuel reactor since the game came out. When the game first came out, if you put carbon into the biofuel reactor, it'd last seconds before it needed recharging. Now, as you can see, I don't have any metal plating, so let's build one. Go back to the biofuel reactor, and again, now we can put it down. I'm going to put it just in front here, because you need to connect it with cable. So there we go, electrical wiring, connect, and then just walk round to your teleportation device and connect it. Then come out of your build menu, go to your biofuel reactor, dump some carbon in there. There we go, it doesn't really matter which type. You can use condensed carbon, you can even use oxygen if you want. 49 hours. That's awesome. That's 2 days that now lasts. Okay, so after you've done that, you want to head back to space to find the person that you're looking for. So you'll need to talk to loads of different people in the station until you find the one that basically gives you the information that you need. There we go, crimson light fades away, blah blah blah. I should leave, perhaps my base computer, blah blah. Again, you're just fulfilling these early goals of the game, and again it's told you to go and upgrade your suit, and look, we can use it again even though it's not green, but this time we have to pay 5,000 units for it. That's fine, it does give you a double upgrade in the initial system, and because I was lucky enough to find a drop pod, it actually gave me 3. So I was able to upgrade my exosuit 3 times in the initial system. Now the next thing we want is that module that I was telling you about, the upgrade for the scanner. So purchase upgrade module, and we want the, so keep going because we can't afford the expensive scanner module. So again, this one for 406 nanites. We want to purchase it, okay, and then what we want to do is install it into our multi-tool. So out we come. Now we've got the blueprint here, so you want to install it, and then you want to put it in to your multi-tool. Now what you also want to do is move your scanner next to it to get an additional boost. So plus 7,643% for fauna and about 7,800% for the other one, which is awesome. It'll then tell you to find a distress signal, an approximate location. It's this freighter. So when you do this part, it will give you an approximate location. Just look for a massive freighter. It's always a massive freighter. So you want to take the blueprint, and this is going to give you your warp drive, hyperdrive, which is going to allow you to go between star systems. And for that, you need 5 microprocessors. You need about 150,000 credits to be able to do that. So one other thing you want to do at this freighter is go to the cargo pods. So again, terrain manipulator, mark a cargo pod, dig out the ground. Some of them will have these steel things that you need to destroy. So switch to your laser beam, destroy the steel, switch back to your terrain manipulator, dig the ground out until you get the cargo pod, and then see what's inside. Let's have a look. Okay, take the goop and the rusted metal, dump it into your exosuit, and then you will get something. So what did we get? Starship launch fuel. Now move away very quickly. See that radiation damage? Now these pods, whenever you break into them, you always get a ridiculous amount of radiation damage, so you need to move away quickly. There's about 5 or 6 in each wrecked cargo ship, so collect all of them, then head back to the space station, because you need the microprocessors. So again, scroll down, microprocessor, we need 5. So 345 is going to cost us 137,000 credits, and we only have 82,000 credits. Well, luckily, we can sell stuff. And more luckily, I was able to locate a GOD site, which is 137,000 credits. Now, you could choose to sell your gold and your silver, but I would suggest if you've managed to locate any underground minerals, just sell those, or vortex cubes, or anything else you've managed to find on your travels. So then get your 5 microprocessors. There we go, and we're going to be able to install our hyperdrive. So again, go to the hyperdrive, install the microprocessors. You'll already have had the chromatic metal, and that's it. You are ready to rock. You can now transport to any other star system, after, of course, you've unlocked the ability to create warp cells. So you'll get a location for an antimatter trace. I would suggest well, it doesn't matter actually, was in a horizon of a planet. So if your next location is behind the atmosphere of a planet, I'd suggest what you do is just use your in-system warp, get away from the planet, and then warp to where you want to go. Now, this was another system, another planet. So I scanned these animals, and this was the only animal on this planet. So I have found the only animal, which means I'm going to get a nanite boost. Lovely. This is what I was looking for, which is the antimatter trace. So again, you want to go inside the building, you want to use the terminal. It will give you the recipe for antimatter. There we go, which is chromatic metal and condensed carbon, and that's why I was saying to collect the condensed carbon. Don't touch the whispering eggs. You are nowhere near strong enough yet to fight the creatures that come out of the ground. Again, there's a huge condensed carbon up there, but you need an advanced mining laser for it. So craft the components needed to create a warp cell, so the antimatter and the antimatter housing. Create a warp cell, and then load that into your warp drive. So go to your starship, dump it in, and you can warp to one system. Each system you travel to will always use one warp cell, and you can fit a maximum of 4 at the beginning. Now let's upload these. So upload, and look at that, 250 nanites, boom, for getting every creature in a system. And more than that, you'll actually unlock a milestone. So there we go, journey milestone completed. Naturalist discovered all species on one planet. I would also suggest, if there's any planets with gold or anything like that, pop down to their surface and just mine it. Just mine a load of it. It's worth doing to build up your initial credits. And again, walk back to your system. And what I'm actually going to do now, so that's an unmapped planet at the moment, so just go and land on every single planet, and scan and look for all the animals and everything else in your initial system. There is no rush to warp straight away. So now what I'm going to do is head back to my base, and we're going to get that free exosuit upgrade. And that is going to be the end of this video. So exosuit upgrade, you need sodium nitrate, you need carbon nanotubes, and you need an antimatter housing. Now we can build all of that now. Now the sodium nitrate, you need to find it. So you need a planet that has sodium nitrate in its plants until you get the advanced mining laser. Let's put these over here. Okay, so as you can see, I didn't have much. I've only got 5 left, but I had enough to unlock this. And then let's just move our stuff around. Let's move the gold there and stack it. So again, I've got 480 gold now. Salt, I think we can put that into our ship as well. And again, you can see I've just been randomly harvesting resources. And the next thing we want to do is go back to our exosuit. We want to craft the antimatter housing and the carbon nanotubes. And once we've repaired those, it's a free upgrade. Thanks for watching, and if this has helped, please do subscribe to the channel. And until next time, I'm Know-It-All Gaming. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and from me, good night.